Today, let's talk all about how to make social media easier and quicker and faster, and some of my little secrets to making this work. So I want to give you a little mini masterclass today on how I do this. So let's jump in.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here's your host, Julie Hood.
Hey, welcome to episode 166. We're talking Speedy social media secrets today. And I'll tell you what inspired today's episode. My very favorite online social media tool is on a lifetime account at AppSumo. So what that means is you can purchase for a one-time fee a lifetime account with this tool called Lettr. And they do it it's like a flash sale. So as of today, it's October 26, 2023. This special is only on for 6 more days. So please don't wait. I really feel like every course creator needs to buy this tool. It's $49 one time, and then you have lifetime access. And this is what I did a long time ago. I got my lifetime access, and so I get to use it every time I have a podcast episode. I can put together a year's worth of social media posts in about 15 minutes, depending on how complicated it is. So that is a huge time saver, and it posts across all my social media. So it's one of the ways that I save a lot of time. I end up having a lot of posts on my accounts. So Lettr, it's on lifetime account. Use that first link in the show notes and go get your copy. I cannot tell you how badly I want you to do this, just because it will save you so much time. So totally worth. And they have not been on this lifetime deal for a long time. I've been trying to watch for it for you, and I found it this weekend. I'm like, I've got to share this with my podcast audience so that you guys will grab this tool while you can, because usually you have to pay every month to use it. So there's a link in the show notes to go grab what you do is you buy it from AppSumo, and then you get a code that you then go redeem on Lettr for your account. So I also put a link in there to kind of describe all this and demo the tool. So if you're a little on the fence and you're like, I don't know, Julie, what are you talking about? I already have social media tools. So if you want to go watch that video to see what this is and how it works, if that's helpful, there's a video in the show notes too. So grab Lettr while you can, and I hope I have convinced you of how much time savings this will give you. But I also wanted to dig in a little bit more on this episode and see, what are some of the other things that you can do to do better with social media. And I need to define better for you, because we may have slightly different definitions of that. So I have gotten to the place with my socials that I want to have content on there so that if someone comes to my account and they're wondering, who is this? What does she do? And is she alive? Is she active? Because I know y'all have gone to accounts where you've seen people that they haven't posted since 2020, and you're like, oh, I guess they're not really a real business anymore. They're not taking this account seriously, or it just kind of leaves that lingering question in your mind. So I want to make sure I had regular posts. I was not so much focusing on having the best posts I could possibly create on every single platform. Like, that would take way too much time. I have to do my actual business and not just social media, my actual business. So this is my strategy for getting a lot of content, having it out there, having it posting. And then what happens is it leaves you more time so that you can go comment on other people's posts, so that you can go interact with other accounts, so that you can reply to comments. Instead of having to always spend your time on the creation side of things, you can spend a little bit more time on the engagement side of things. So that is my approach, just so you know, in case that's not how you want to run your social media. totally understand. That's just kind of a basic where we're at and how we're approaching this. And I want to make sure you knew that ahead of time. So, okay. So when you are trying to come up with some speedier ways to do your social media, there's a couple different things that you need to think about. So there's 3 main steps actually to the posting side. And that is, first off, we need to create the content. We need to come up with what are we going to say. And then we need to create the graphics or the video. That's step number 2 of coming up with what is the physical piece of material that we're going to put on the sites. And then the third step is actually to post it or schedule it via tool so that it will show up on your different social media accounts. So technically, if you really want to do social media and do it really well, you should customize your content to the specific platform. However, that is somewhat time consuming. So maybe you do some posts that way where you're super customized. It's your favorite site. Maybe you love LinkedIn. And so you go out and you do your LinkedIn that way and you spend more focused time on it. However, that's not what I'm talking about today. Today, I'm just talking about how do we maximize our posting. And so that's what we're going to focus on is like, how do I get a lot of content that I can share across a lot of places and do that easily? So step number 1, that creating the content. Here are a couple tips to help you with that. First one is I want you to have a place where you're tracking ideas that you can use on your social accounts. So, if you're a Mac iPhone person, you probably should create a note and then always put your ideas into that note. That's a good way to do it. If you're an Android person, maybe you do some kind of Google Doc, Google Drive document where you're tracking ideas, because I don't want you to lose these when you come across some neat stuff, or maybe you take a photo and you're like, oh, this would make a really great social media post, that kind of thing. You want those all in one place so that it's easy to access and easy to get to. So pick your place, pick your tool that you're going to save this in so that you've got those ideas all in one place. And then tip number 2 is you can definitely use ChatGPT to help you create some content. And obviously all the standard rules about using AI, review, make sure it's not plagiarizing, all that good stuff that we've talked about on other episodes. But you can use it. And as I was doing some research for this episode, I found a couple videos on YouTube where people were showing how they use ChatGPT to not only create the content that they wanted, but then help them so that they could create the graphics. The next step for us could help with that too. So I'm going to link to those videos so that you can go watch them and see what they're doing. The basic concept is that you give ChatGPT a prompt to give you a certain kind of content. So for example, you could say, give me a list of 25 encouraging or inspiring quotes for course creators or for yoga masters or whatever your audience is. Give me a list of 25 encouraging or inspiring quotes. So then it will come up with the list for you. And then you can take that list and you download it, you put it into a spreadsheet. And if you are using Canva Pro, you can upload that list directly into Canva and have it create your content for you, your images and your videos. And so that's what the 2 links that I have to the YouTube videos, those 2 links, it shows you exactly how they did this and exactly how they came up with this 50 social media posts in 5 minutes, or the other one was 200 posts in 10 minutes. And the one thing I will say on their videos is they weren't including time to customize the images. So they were using like a standard image on all 50 posts. So you would need more time for that. For my missing letter demo that I was talking about, I included time to get custom images on your posts. So still in still prefer the way Missing Lettr works, but this is another way to do sort of a bulk creation of content. So I put in the show notes 3 different prompts from those videos so that they can help you with what to put into ChatGPT so that you can get the content, and then you can watch those videos if you want more details on how to upload into Canva and how that works. So I thought they were pretty good as far as explaining how to actually do this. So those links are also in the show notes if you want to go further on that. So second step of this, we've got our content. We got, our 25 inspirational quotes. So our second step then is to create the graphics, the images, the videos that we're going to use. So a few of my tips here are for you on this one. The first one is get really good at whatever tool you're going to use. So use it a lot, practice with it. If it's Canva Pro, if it's whatever you use. I also use something called Snappa. It's not as savvy as Canva, but I just like the way it works. I'll put the link in there if you want to check it out. But probably Canva would be a better place for you to spend your money, honestly. I just like the way Snappa works. So get good at your tool. Or the next idea is to hire it out. So I did this initially when I got a big list of motivational quotes, and I hired someone, I think it was from Fiverr, and I said, I want you to turn these all into images for me. And you could even give them the link to these videos and say you can use this process and use Canva to do this for me. Now, one big thing I want to make sure I mention is you need to get them on the hook that they are only using royalty-free images and videos, because you don't want to get in trouble for using copyright images. So make sure you put that in your request and in your statement of work with them that they're only using royalty-free images. Okay, and then the next tip for you is, in general, the square Instagram graphic can work across different platforms. So each platform has its own preferred size of images, but I tend to use the square images because they will work. They don't, they'll show up okay. They won't get cut off on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, which is now X, and I put them on Instagram. So using square graphics tends to be a good idea so that your images will still work on the different platforms. Okay, and then our last step is the posting or the scheduling out to your different social media accounts. And so that's one of the things that I really love about Missing Lettr is once I hooked in my social media accounts to it and I'm setting up my posts, it's going out to all of them. So that's part of the time-saving step, is the fact that the tool is managing that for me. I'm a huge fan of use the right tools. So I want you to get a hold of scheduling tools for your social media if you're trying to do this speedy posting option. So there's a couple, there's tons and tons, and I believe Canva will even post out to your socials for you so you can schedule things. Another one that I really like, a couple of them actually, it's called Social Bee and then MeetEdgar. So those two tools do what's called evergreen content. So this is my last tip for you, is to reuse evergreen content. So what I mean by that is you create these buckets of content. So on Social Bee, I have my 150 motivational quotes, and then what Social Bee does for me is it goes down the list, and I think it's Tuesdays, it posts one of the most motivational quotes. And then when it gets through all 50 and it hits the bottom, so that's, it's almost like 3 years worth of content, hits the bottom, it goes back to the top and it starts over again. So then it goes through and it posts the quotes for every Tuesday. So it's this evergreen bucket of content that keeps getting reused. So that's my final tip for you on being speedy, is you set up this evergreen content that will keep posting for you. So this weekend when I went on a little mini vacation with my husband, and while we were gone, my socials were posting and I was not having to be on my phone posting things. It was automatically sending things out and posting. So that's another piece of the speediness, is getting that evergreen content out there and getting it going. So Social Bee does that for you. There's another tool called MeetEdgar that also does that. So I'll put both those links in the show notes if you want to check them out, just to see they are worth it for the evergreen piece of it. So you can see the other side of this too is I have multiple tools doing different things. So Missing Lettr is doing my year's worth of 9 posts related to each podcast episode. But then Social Bee is doing the ongoing evergreen buckets of quote posts. And then I also have some evergreen buckets of my podcast episodes, so that those are consistently getting shared. So with a little bit of time spent invested on setting these systems up, you can definitely then make sure that you've got consistent posts across your account without having to deal with it every single day. So hopefully that gave you a few ideas on how you could do your social media a little bit speedier, a little bit faster. I'm also, there's so many links for you today. I put 2 related episodes, episode 158 and episode 73, also talk about these same sorts of concepts around social media. So if you want to dig into those and just hear a little bit more, you can listen to those episodes too. But the most important piece, actually from today's episode that I hope you are catching in time, is to go get that lifetime account to Missing Lettr, because I think you'll be thrilled at the concept of how it works and how quickly you can pull together unique posts and post them across your social media. So go coursecreatorshq.com/missinglettr. All right, gang. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave you at least an idea or two of something you hadn't thought about doing before to help you with your content, to help you with getting out in front of more people and posting on social media. And thanks so much for listening. I really, really appreciate the space in your earbuds and your headphones every week. It's one of my favorite things, is to get to connect with you and talk to you and let me know how it goes. Message me if you get your Missing Lettr account, if you love it as much as I do. I'd love to hear it. And have a fantastic rest of your week. We will catch you on next week's episode. Take care.